What's going on, guys? My name is Lewis. Welcome back to another video on Mr. Ninja Gaming channel. As you can see, we are back in the Fantasy Park series. I have changed the park name from Fantasy Park to Realm of Wonders and reduced the price a little bit of the admissions because we were getting quite a lot of people leaving because of the price increase and everything. And it wasn't great for the sort of business. In between episodes, I added this thing here to kind of add some more scenery to Robin's Revenge, which adds a few more people, and I've changed some of the prices on some of these rides as well. I've added these cars and coloured the floor. I don't think I've shown you the colour of the floor. I've also added this station building to this to the American Dream roller coaster, and I added this umbrella shop and this staff room up here. In today's episode, I'm going to mainly focusing on adding new rides to the park. I don't really think there's much need for a transport system until we get sort of like a lot of people, like 1,000+ people in the park, or 2,000 people in the park, or I'm just gonna say like 1,100 people in the park, and people are getting stuck up in, like, I don't know, this area of the park over here and can't find the way to the main entrance of the park. And also in between episodes, I had these floodlights and made the ground look nicer with these street lamps, and yeah, it's just very lit up now and it looks so nice at night. I was really like neglecting the day-night cycle on this and just leaving it on the day setting, and it was just because I didn't really think about like how it would look at night. So yeah, I've done this and it looks 10 times better. And usually I would have made like a whole episode about like doing all these bits of the area and whatnot, but I just didn't see the need for it. Like you're really here to see me building shops, roller coasters and rides. So, you know, some of the buildings that I do on camera are just me getting carried away. But it is also nice for you guys to see some of the process that goes behind making a building like that. Now, you know, today's episode is going to be very, very like hectic, I'd say, because we're going to be adding, I don't know, I think we'll put a Ferris wheel somewhere, but that doesn't seem to get quite a lot of. In fact, yeah, we need to start prioritizing these sort of flat rides, and I think that's a good start, you know, putting a Ferris wheel right here with the entrance up here and the exit there. That fits quite nicely, and it's not really sort of stopping the sort of flow of the park. It's kind of like just there. You can hop on it if you want, and yeah, I think Ferris wheel is a good name. And price wise, what do we have that? I think we have that at $2, so I'm gonna change that to $2, and we're gonna build the entrance, well, the queue for this, and we're just going to change the color to this kind of brown to sort of match the area. I'm going to make this be a long queue. I don't think it needs to be that long. Actually, it might actually need to be a little longer, mainly due to the fact it's going to be a big ride. Color wise, I would have it the same as usual, red. In fact, no, we'll have the red in the middle, yellow, and no, that's supposed to be red, and that's supposed to be yellow. Fits quite nicely in that area. It matches this color scheme down here, and yeah, the thing that we need to do now is wait for a little bit more cash to come in. Obviously, we'll open the ride. That might get a lot of like attraction, a lot of like people going towards it, because we've only got one farm ride in this area. I don't really know what else to call it, in all fairness. But it does seem to be getting a few people wanting to go on it. Yeah, there are a lot of people wanting to queue up for the ride. The good thing about having these sorts of rides as well is the fact that they are, as you would say, good for throughput of the sort of, I'm trying to find the right word here. Good for throughput on, like, of customers. I honestly cannot speak today. It's quite late for me. I'm gonna make a, actually, I'm gonna make a quick station. Not big, not small, but fits quite nicely in this area. I'm gonna pick some of these doorways. I'm gonna put a doorway. Let's move that out of the way a second. Doorway here and here. Another thing we need to do is get some of these walls here. And just placing these here separates the entrance from the exit. Also, another thing I'm gonna do is this, and obviously do this. One more thing we also need to do, I do like to talk to myself a lot in these videos, well, in these sort of episodes and whatnot. If I sound like I'm tired, I am tired. I've been trying to get some sleep, trying to sort my sleep schedule out, but it's just not wanting to work for me at the moment. But yeah, that looks quite nice, fits quite nicely in that area. If we go off that, we now have filled in this area with a nice long ride. Well, a nice ride there with a longish queue ride. It's not, I don't think it's that necessary, but once we start getting a lot more people in, I think it's going to need the long queues, and that's why a lot of people would think, because the size of our park isn't big, it's only got 430 people in, you wouldn't necessarily find long queues. But I'd say having a long queue is preparation for the future of the park, and I don't think I'm wrong in that sense, but I'm also wasting a little bit of money, like funds, on this, if you know what I mean. But if I just get rid of some of these trees and just do a design that's been used over there, grab these trees here, and can I fit one anywhere? And there. There's also try and fit one there. Well, actually quite, they fit quite nicely there. And I'm also gonna get our pathway all the way to here, and we're gonna go down this way. Let's get a little bit more money in. So we can start expanding down this way, I'd say. I think we're going to need a coaster. I'm going to sort of, I'd say cut this. I'm going to cut once I've finished decorating up here until I have enough money for our next coaster. And that's going to cost a lot of money up front. But once we have the ride in place, that's also going to generate a lot of money for us, which is a benefit, and it will also bring a lot of people in, and it's quite close to these two coasters here, but it's further away in terms of paths, if you know what I mean, because you have to go, say if you're starting over here, you're literally like 2 minutes away from each one of these. Like, I'd say a bit longer for this one, but not a lot up here, and that's why we're not getting enough traction to this ride, and that's why I think we're losing a little bit of money. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sort of cut the footage here, and I will plop this into my editing software, and yeah, I'll see you when I have enough money to build our coaster. It may be just a time lapse. If it is, then there's nothing really you can do about it. But after the time lapse, you'll hear a little bit of a voiceover and whatnot. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's get into the time lapse. So as you can see, we are starting the coaster, and it's going to be a boomerang coaster. I did make a sort of change midway through the last one. Instead of it being a sort of wing coaster, I think it was, I decided to go with the B&M just because it makes more sense. So we've got this boost into a 180 degree drop into a half loop. Here I tried doing something with a corkscrew, but it was too small, so I had to like kind of do stuff. Here I'm building one of those U-turn elements that I really like. Pretty good, into a brake run, which I didn't think was really necessary at the end of it. It just got too slow, impacted the sort of overall speed. I tried putting a booster there to try and make it work, but it didn't. So I built this sort of half curve area, and made a helix downwards. And yeah, then we're just kind of doing S-bend into the brake run and block brake, and that's how we really got to the end of it, really, because once we've done it, I'm just trying to fit the rest of it into, well, trying to make it get towards the area, well, the entrance. Here I'm just testing it, making sure it all works. And yeah, looks good. So here it is. I'm just going to do the colouring for it now. It's got decent stats, got low nausea, which is just really what I wanted. I didn't want this to be a massive coaster. I didn't want it to be overshadowing this coaster. But I wanted it to fill in this place very nicely and, you know, bring a bit more traction to this place. So, obviously, as you would have heard in the commentary over this video, it goes into a boost to the top of this lift hill. Not a very steep lift hill, well, not even lift, this first, like, incline. Not very steep, but then it twists into 180 degrees, then into a dive loop, into a corkscrew, into one of my favorite elements, the like curved piece here. I don't know the actual name for it. I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. Into a sort of bunny hop sort of section, into a helix down, and then into the brake run, which, to be honest, is probably one of my favorite parts. One of my favorite parts has got to be this dive loop and it straight into the corkscrew. It kind of brings a bit more to this, if you know what I mean. So before I end the video, I am just going to build the queue path. Now, obviously, this is going to be a very, very high sort of intensity coaster. So we're going to have I wouldn't say a huge queue, but we need something that kind of demonstrates its, I was going to say superiority, but, you know, I'm just going to get rid of these lot. And then do something like that underneath the exit section here, into another sort of queue area, which should, if I have built this correctly, and there. And also another thing, by the way, I also had to take out another loan on this, so now I have, if I look at my loans, I have a 9,000 and a 7,500 to pay off, which doesn't seem like a lot. Well, it does, but I can pay off the 7,000, well, most of the 7,500 one now. If I just, one sec, where's the colour? It is here, and this is gonna go and exit out. Oh, actually, no, that's not the right theme. Give me a quick second and to sort this out, and then this is gonna be brown. So this is gonna go down and out here, and then I'm hoping to expand this way. So maybe it's best if we also expand the queue a bit more out towards this, and then do something like that. Also, we're going to need a picking tool for this, so nobody can actually like backtrack into the sort of coaster area. And I think it's ready to be opened. In fact, another thing I'm going to delete is these two, just to make it feel, you know what, that I think should be enough. In fact, it's going to be a bit too much queue, in all fairness. That's going to seem a little too little. But let's see what it looks like. Well, we want a 12-car train. And it seems if we do the testing for it, it's not really going to be a very high capacity coaster, which maybe I should have added another block break. You know what? That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to here and go and quickly, while it's still like fresh, let's see. Testing wise, we have 2. Now I'm not sure about that hill, but it looks like by the time it gets into that, let's just open it at $9 because it is a good coaster. A lot of people will want to go on it. We'll see how many people go into the park now and ride this. Also, I forgot to do the colours on it, so let me just change the colours. So cars are going to be yellow and orange. Tracks are going to be orange, red. No. Red and yellow. I'm gonna call this Phoenix, maybe? Phoenix. See how many people actually queue up. Let's see the thoughts on it. Nobody's saying the price is like bad on it. And there are a lot of people queuing up for this. In fact, let's do a little bit of marketing for it. Let's do a quick attraction television for 6 months. Phoenix, $4,000. Should be worth it. Should get some more people coming into the park to ride this, and we can start paying off our loans as soon as possible, really. In the next episode, we are going to be doing a bit more to the... Well, I'm going to be doing the station building to this and adding one more flat ride here and then sectioning off this area. Obviously, no, not sectioning it off, but we will be going down into this area, and this is going to loop around this coaster. So this is going to be kind of like a massive loop that you have to go around pretty much, with a flat ride there, and the path goes around it. One more thing we're going to need to do before we end as well. I keep saying this, but we need to do a little bit more to expand so people can actually get to here in order to sort of experience, I think that's the right word, experience this ride. So let's go underground. We have our paths. Let's just change that to the... Is it... It's that, isn't it? No, it's... Give me a second. Let's go underground. Let's just do a bit more to... Oh. Fat. Needs a flatten. Tool. And go paths. Obviously, swivel this. Around. Around, just sort of add the edge to that. Let's go from here. Let's just get rid of the underground area here. And then we're gonna go to there. Yeah, that looks quite nice, to be honest. Obviously, in fact, in between episodes, I'll build like the tunnel and this area. Here is gonna, and the station for this, and a bit more off camera, just because you guys don't really want to see some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But this should allow more people to come this way. Another thing, before we do anything, we need more of these trash bins. We're gonna place one right there. We're going to place one there, and one here. Same on the other side, really. We can't put one there, but we've put one there. Oh. We'll put some of these benches here. A couple of these lamp posts. One lamp post here. And a couple of these in the queue line. Obviously, some of this building is going to be in the build, like some of the paths are going to be in the buildings, so you won't see some of these lamps, but it doesn't really matter. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you never miss an upload. And yeah, between episodes, I'll try and pay off those loans as well, because that is going to be a pain in the bum to get rid of those loans. But once we get some more money in, should be good. Yeah, peace, I guess.